Welcome aboard the Durflinger. Okay, I cannot do this with this hat. Alright, so I'm going to be starting development vlogs to track my progress of what I'm learning just on my own. I don't think I'm going to really use this for school, but mm, very much I'm going to be doing this just for my self learning. Web development. I'm going to do this every month. This is going to be for the month of May? May. And I guess I'll try to keep the June stuff for next month's video. All right, so this is going to be. I'm not going to do this little intro for every single one, but I mean it is a vlog, so why not? The reason why I am doing this is because I came to a very stark realization during my junior year of university for my computer science, software engineering degrees. And that realization is that, I mean, I knew this from the beginning. I knew that college doesn't teach you how to program. I mean, that's all on your own, right? What I started to realize is that I don't have that many. I don't have that many projects outside of my school because I'm spending so much time working on my school projects. Just so I can keep moving on to the next semester's worth of classes without having to repeat or anything like that. And a big problem in academia, in computer science specifically, I don't know about any other field, but is plagiarism. Plagiarism is a big problem. I'm still having to hear the professor get on their soapbox and talk about how bad it is about cheating. And I completely agree with it. But the consequence from this is that all of our code that we write for our classes is closed source, which means that I will be unable to really show employers my code. And their response to this is, oh, just let them go, add them as a collaborator on your GitHub, and then they can see your repositories that way. No hiring person, no HR is going to do that. No HR is going to send a request to view your repository on GitHub. That's just not going to happen. They don't have the time for that. And so I started thinking, well, okay, what can I do to get more projects? I can learn new skills like web development, because I haven't really done that much web development in college. Mostly it's been, I mean, I had the amazing opportunity to learn C# and Java in high school, but in college, I've pretty much been doing C++, C, Java, and Dart with the Flutter framework for mobile applications. And um, and so with code being closed source, it kind of hinders. I can't really show off what I'm doing. Not that I'd really be able to show off what I'm doing excitingly anyway, because these are all console applications that we're doing. And so I thought to myself, okay, how can I get marketable projects made? Well, I could try to turn all my console applications into web applications, which isn't a terrible idea, but it's not something I really want to do for every single one of them. And so I was like, okay, so what I can do is for Java applications, I can I can modulate. I can uh, set up some JSP pages. I can run it on a Tomcat server, and if I need a database, I can use MySQL. And then I can host that on an AWS EC2 instance. That works. Okay, and so I did that with a couple of them, a couple of my Java things I want to show off. And, well, specifically, I did it with a keyword and context search engine that I developed with a colleague of mine. And I also actually used CGI, Common Gateway Interface, with C++. Yeah, there we go. I used Common Gateway Interface with C++, so that I can use C++ as my server-side code. Set Java, and I was actually able to show off ah, my Pascal compiler that I'm working on. Uh, so I have both the lexical analyzer and the syntactical analyzer done, but I'm only hosting the syntactical analyzer part because the lexical still has a little bit of a few bugs. But I'm using Lex and Yak for that on the C++ end. And so those are cool. And I thought, okay, web development isn't that bad. And then that brings me to what I've been doing all month. This was kind of like near the end of school, right when school was finishing up. What I'm doing now is I'm working on web development. So I had the great opportunity to do Angular with the .NET framework this semester, last semester technically, and that was great. It was fun. And then I did a little bit of Internet of Things with Python as my server side code, and I use Cloud Firestore as my database for some just IoT things, just cute little projects. I'm not going to host any of those, but I can post the videos, I think. Um, but I've been learning React. React has been a blast. I started off with Gatsby, and what I really liked about Gatsby is that it used GraphQL. GraphQL is a querying API that just gets data from everywhere, anywhere really. First, when I tested the waters my first time, I used Markdown, and then after that, I moved on to a headless CMS, specifically Contentful. Those two were kind of my first pet projects, just stepping into the water with Gatsby. And then for my a bigger project I made, actually, it was just a website for documentation. It was just a website to show off all the sprints that we did for a large group project that I did last semester using Flutter. It's actually a companion app to Magic the Gathering, and I had ended up using Gatsby with Gatsby and GraphQL. And let's see, instead of using a database, all of our data was actually in Google Sheets. And so I used a Google Sheets plugin to query to kind of, it's not really acting as a data, it is acting for a data, acting as a database, but it's more or less just an API to query data from Google Sheets. But it's a plugin for Gatsby. It's amazing. Uh, so Gatsby has been awesome. That's kind of me dipping my toes in with React. What I've noticed is that it has a lot of cool stuff out of the box. As far as if you're wanting to link to new pages instead of using anchors, you use the link tag, and I think the pages are actually re-rendered, and so that's why it's fast. It's really fast. My the biggest learning curve, the I guess the harder parts is just for Gatsby specifically. For me, has been installing plugins. I spent a whole day trying to get the Google API plugin installed. So I thought, I'm doing tabular data. I don't want to enter this all in by hand. We have hundreds, hundreds of entries. And I did the math, and it would have for a single table row, it would have it was a lot. It was not maybe about 70 lines of code, or not? Yeah, 70 lines of code. And so each page of the Gatsby app for my uh, capstones documentation website, uh, like tens of thousands of lines of code. So I thought, well, this sucks. Can't do this. So I need a plugin. And I thought, well, everything's in Google Sheets. Can I just query the data from Google Sheets? Turns out I could. Okay, so Gatsby, awesome. That was my first thing with React. Next, I started developing just with the React library by itself. Um, I think Gatsby is a JavaScript framework. I think so. But React actually is just a library, if I'm correct. And I like React. I've been making a bunch of React projects each week. So first, what I started out with was hooks, how the hooks work, and then I'm still flirting with the idea of state management with context instead of having to uh, prop drill, prop drilling. Is that what it's called? Instead of having to pass the state of the data through each and every component, um, uh, using context. And um, it's fine. I think I like Redux better. I think. I don't have that much experience with it yet, but I'm still working with it. And uh, so, in my mind, these the state the car passes. In my mind, so I know in Angular you pass data from component to component with services. And in my mind, these contexts are very similar. Um, but I think the difference between, from my understanding, between contexts and Redux is that with context, you have this complex data structure that you're having to dismantle. If there's any change on the uh, if there's any change that requires the whole page to be that requires the component to be re-rendered, the whole thing is re-rendered, not just the single bit of data. And I think that you can bypass this just by splitting up the component or splitting up the context. Uh, but I think that just requires more brain power and code. And I think that's where React shines. So it's completely possible to get around having to re-render the entire thing uh, each time just a piece of the data changes. So that's what I've been working on with React. React's been awesome. What else have I been doing? I'm just trying to experiment with. I haven't done too much with AWS. I've just been playing around, having a blast on my EC2 instance. Oh, that's what I've been doing. So I've been working on this. I've been trying to figure that out. So MERN stands for MongoDB, Express, React, Node.js, and I think these small little projects that I've been working on with MERN, it's kind of my first experience with Express and Node, um, and MongoDB actually, yeah. But so what I've been doing with that is, let's see, what have I been doing? Oh, I made a very simple social media app that literally anybody can go to the website and just upload a I call it scrolls, but really all it is just a card with picture, title, name, message, tags, very free code camp, that kind of thing. And so this actually got so I actually got my first freelance gig. I'm gonna try to save that for another video, but I I know for a fact I'm using the merge stack. Just trying to get more experience with everything. As far as, I mean, I like it. I mean, conceptually, doing CRUD operations is easy. It's just fun. I'm not gonna keep my mouth shut because I'm gonna talk about it on another video. But I think that's pretty much all I've been doing this month. I mean, I've had a couple other projects like I think I made a to do list with persistent local storage. I did that in React, of course. It has to be in React. What else have I done? I think I have it up. Hold up. Do I have it? Yeah, I do. Okay. Oh, that's right. I made a small game. I made a Pac-Man clone. Um, it it's fine. I might work on it a bit more and get a leaderboard set up, connect it, get some database hooked up with it, so that users, whenever they die or whenever they succeed, I don't know. It's not even on my mind what I'm going to do with it, but I know at some point I'm going to get a database connected to it, whether it be MySQL, MongoDB, whatever. Uh, Google Sheets. No, and I'll get a leaderboard set up. Once I have that leaderboard set up, I will. I'll feel good putting it on my profile. Until then, I'm going to leave it in the pet project section. Oh, that's another thing I'm going to be working on. It's my portfolio. I'm pretty sure it. Oh, yeah. So I've been also been playing around with Sanity. Sanity. I'm not exactly sure what all Sanity is, or what I can tell. It's the CMS. So I can go on Sanity's tool, whatever you want to call it. I know for Contentful, you should go on the Contentful website, I think. Or do they have a desktop tool? One of the two, I don't remember. But for Sanity, I think it's actually in the app. That you go into the app or your website that you're building, your live local host, and you can just update your fields, and then you use Sanity to query those fields. I'm not gonna do too much with Sanity right now. I'm just gonna finish the thing I'm working on with Sanity, just a small thing. It, I don't know. It might be a pet project. I don't know. But I think I'm going to do my portfolio indeed on Mern because I really like it. It's robust. I feel. All right. I think that's pretty much all for this blog. I'm gonna just get back to work. Try. I'll think about I'll think about what I want to say about the freelance gig that I got. Uh, I think I might do weekly updates just so I can have something to show the customer. Yeah, yeah, I think that'll work. All right, well, over and out.